Bertrand de Cambourg, welcome.
Thank you.
You're the chairman of the Group Governance Council and Strategic Committee of Mazars, the international audit and consulting services firm. What is your view, what is your opinion of the recent reform of the European audit market?
The European institutions are very often criticized, but in this case, I think they should be complimented on the achievement that has just been reached. Because there was a terrible paradox, which was that the European market, the audit market, was not harmonized. It was fragmented, inspired by national regulations, and everybody felt, of course, that they were right. But the market was not unified. And that's a paradox, because other areas, key areas, are unified. The US by definition, and that has been the case for decades, but also China, India, and other key countries. Therefore, it was urgent to consider. In addition, there was the context of the lessons to be learned from the crisis in 2008. Therefore, as I was saying, very urgent to move.
What are the main improvements that this reform brings?
Of course, the debate revolved around the best practices in the various countries, or the regulations in the various countries of the EU, and everybody, as I said, was feeling that, well, it was not too bad in his own country. And the debate was passionate, and that was the interest of the debate, because, in fact, a serious debate has taken place. At the end of the day, if you leave aside problems that have been solved, like prohibited services, non-audit services that are prohibited to the auditors, or if you leave aside also the obvious points concerning harmonization of auditing standards, supervision at European level, also the organization of audit firms, there are 4 key points. Point 1 is the introduction of a mandatory rotation after a maximum period of 10 years. Point 2, there is a recognition that joint audit is a perfectly viable system that in fact has significant advantages in terms of independence of the auditors, in terms of quality of the audit, and in terms of diversification of a market that is felt too concentrated, over-concentrated, with a systemic risk, a possible systemic risk. The third point, which is key, is an enhanced role for governance in full transparency in the appointment and monitoring, in the appointment of auditors and the monitoring of audits. Audit committees are pivotal. Tendering is mandatory at regular intervals, absolutely central. Fourth point is which is maybe the essence of the compromise and the encouragements that are offered. Extension is possible to a rather strict 10-year period, to the rather strict 10-year period that I mentioned. The first one is for single audits, solo audits, where the extension is of 10 years maximum, so 10 plus 10, but after tendering. And everybody knows that the tendering process is an open process. In the case of joint audit, the extension is 14 years, so 10 to 24, and can be automatic, so no need for a tendering. And at the end of the day, this is a rather coherent system, which I would consider well balanced, and which is offering real opportunities for harmonizing the market.
What impact will this reform have on investors, on companies, on markets?
Well, I think it's a good opportunity for companies to consider this essential point, which is the external control of their financial information, the way it is organized, by whom it is being done, what are the cultural options that they are taking, what is the openness to other players instead of reappointing for decades the same people. It's a very good opportunity for them to revisit this point of their management and governance. I think it is also an excellent opportunity to create a proper dialogue on this point, to restore trust with investors and the financial community at large.
And finally, what impact will this reform have on your company, on Mazars?
One of the very key options chosen by Mazars from inception is to serve the public interest. So, and we have taken measures to demonstrate that, such as, you know, the report that we produce, an annual report that is similar to the report produced and audited by us, by the public entities that we serve. Also, in terms of our own organization, since we have chosen a global partnership in full transparency. Also, technical options in terms of independence of audit quality. So, serving the public interest is like built in the Mazars strategy. Therefore, a reform which is based upon the idea of promoting a better and more an audit service that is designed to serve properly public interest entities in order also to promote a safer market is for us very key. And we feel that we are able to bring a very serious contribution to the European market under the new reform.
Patrick de Cambourg, thank you very much.
Thank you.